kunin na ako ni Lord. Hi, my name is Rianna Cuasay. I am 17 years old and I am a certified Gen Z. So the clips that you've seen prior are all what I do for a living. Simply put, that was a day in my life. So to start off, why don't I give you all a brief introduction about myself. At first, I may come off as reserved, quiet, standoffish even. Because of this, I tend to appear intimidating somehow. Frankly, that's not entirely the case. Although I may be shy, only to speak whenever spoken to, I'm actually quite approachable. Though I may not speak a lot. I'm family oriented and I'm quite loyal to my friends. I'm very open to new experiences and I love spending time learning new things. So as you've seen in the previous clips, one of my hobbies is digital art. Usually whenever I would have leisurely time to myself, I'd usually spend them watching movies, reading books, talking and chatting with my friends, whether it be, my online friends or, my friends in real life. I like listening to music as well and boxing. Well, somewhat boxing. I mean, it's merely something I like to do, so I'm not saying I'm good at it. As you've seen previously, I'm not good at it at all. Might I add, I also like singing and creating covers of songs. And no, I'm not giving a sample anytime soon. So setting aside all introductions, let's move on to some questions that'll help give you all a deeper understanding of who I am, what I believe in, what I stand for, and what I aim to be. So for the first question, do you have any specific part in your life where you've experienced a difficult problem and how did you solve this? Okay. I'm not ashamed to admit that I, like all people, have experienced difficult situations in life. For now, I'm not going to disclose the said incident as it's rather personal and it could trigger some people, honestly. But I'm willing to share my experiences. I could still vividly recall dreading the days where I was too demotivated or too discouraged to even get out of bed. I was going through one of the hardest, if not the hardest, experience of my life at the time. So it felt as though I had nothing to look forward to. Truthfully, what transpired wasn't a short-term issue, rather it was a long-term issue that is still getting worse up to this day. Despite everything, I'm proud to admit that I managed through these trying times. And with that, I've learned how to handle the situation better as time went on. The way I handled the situation, however, it wasn't the healthiest sort of solution. In actuality, I did nothing to address the issue. I was 14, so I didn't exactly, have an initiative to take a step forward and find a solution to it, as it was rather dire, honestly. I still have no interest, though, in finding a solution to the problem. Looking back, I can see that I did not handle the situation in the healthiest way possible. As a result, if I could go back in time and alter one thing, I think I would have been more honest about my issues with the important individuals in my life that I could rely on. And in addition to that, I should have been more honest about what I was experiencing, what I was feeling with myself. Moving on, I would now like to share a brief summary of my economic development plan, passion project, or dream plan that I wish to accomplish in the near future. So as we all know, the economic status of our country has been depleting over the past few months, years even, despite the efforts given by not only the government but also the rest of society. This issue still shows no signs of resolution. As future leaders of our generation, it is crucial that we find a solution to this ongoing crisis. That is why we need development, progress. Economic development, also known as economic growth or advancement, refers to the generation of wealth that is found in the benefit and advancement of society. It pertains to the build-out of education systems, recreational parks, public safety infrastructure, and many more. How an economy develops is referred to as economic development. Its significance stems from the fact that technology makes producers and consumers more productive to be able to live better lives. So the investment from a private sector is crucial for growth, especially in nations with free markets. The private sector does not significantly progress an overall country, or economy rather. This is because command governments control the means of production, making their actions extremely important to the expansion of the economy. In contrast to command economies, free market economies rely heavily on the projects and expansions that private businesses feel vital for overall economic growth. The government's power in waning is a result of private property ownership and economic considerations. In that sense, I'd like to suggest an increase in the GDP, or Gross Domestic Product. Gross Domestic Product, or GDP, which is the annual value of all goods and services generated in the nation, is the yardstick by which economic growth is measured. The optimum growth rate and how to achieve it has been hotly contested topics among politicians, world leaders, and economists. Consumer spending and company investment are two factors that frequently fuel economic growth. For instance, home builders, contractors, and workers in the construction industry will see an increase in business. Businesses that recruit more employees, increase wages, and make investments in expanding their operations also stimulate the economy. With that, this video has reached its conclusion. Thanks for listening.